Yes, Joe Rogan and I have had on and off communication since then. I can tell you for a fact that he is attending a church and that that has been a consistent thing. And so, things are happening, and he's a very inquisitive individual. And I think for the better, in that he's communicating with me and other people in his life who are influences that can speak into these issues of reliability and trustworthiness and verisimilitude of something like the pages of scripture, and where he should and shouldn't be looking for the information in regards to that. So I am very encouraged by the communication that I have been able to have with him and others over these last few months in this kind of crazy season that I find myself in. But we're seeing what I don't think is an exaggeration to say somewhat of a resurgence in interest in these topics that we've been talking about, even the nitty gritty. We had someone who reached out to us recently at Apologetics Canada, who is probably the last bricks and mortar Christian bookstore that I've ever heard of. But they said, we have people walking through our doors asking, young people, teenagers, saying, I want a Bible. All my friends are reading this thing. Wow. So if the Bible is, becoming popular with teenagers, then something is happening, and the Lord.
Okay, so Joe Rogan had this guy on his show and apparently kept in touch with him, and this guy converted Joe Rogan to start going to church. Now, a lot of people, when this news story first came out, didn't believe it because it hasn't come from Joe Rogan's mouth. But now this guy is talking about it, and this guy really has no reason to lie. I personally don't care whether Joe goes to church or finds religion, but I really don't care. But it would go against some of Joe Rogan's brand, but these people are excited because their thought is, we get Joe Rogan. You know how many people Joe Rogan can convert? I mean, this man really did affect the election in some people's opinions. So if you get Joe Rogan to become religious now Joe Rogan, if this is true, and I do believe it is true, I still don't think he's going to be babbling about like God and religion on his podcast. It might just be a thing of, Joe Rogan's got a lot of money and he's getting older, so maybe his views on it have changed. I believe he is an atheist, but I don't even know that to be for sure. But this guy confirming that Joe Rogan is now religious and goes to church. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.